Hello everyone, my name is Eric Terramullins, and today we're going to be checking out a figure by alter of Murasaki Shikibu from Fate Grand Order. She is a 1-on-7 figure, and she's pretty big for being a 1-on-7. Just look at this costume design. This is so gorgeous. It kind of makes me think of like the vampires from Nightmare Before Christmas. Then again, that might just be because of the goth vibes along with the cute little umbrella and the nice little hand gestures. She's very pointy, little points all over the place. We also have a lot of spirals and swirls that are reoccurring all over her, and this also really enforces a Nightmare Before Christmas style and vibe. I've actually watched almost everything involving Fate, but I'm a little behind in my Grand Order, and I don't play any of the video games, despite actually having a couple of them myself. I just don't have time, but I love so many things from the Fate universe that I keep, like, collecting them. I'd love to spend the time just playing all of them one day. Soon. Checking out this base, it is a lovely pearlized, metallic, reflective purple. There's just purples all over the place, all sorts of motifs and designs. I don't know if this has something to do with getting the character inside the game. I don't know how the gacha system works and the little motifs and illustrations that happen while you're getting characters. Maybe this is representative of that, but I'm not 100% sure. Regardless, it's a wide base, and she's fairly solid on there despite her pegging down just with her feet. The actual dress itself is not bolted to the base. Her long, gorgeous, flowy, sectioned off dress is beautiful. Down at the bottom, we have these gorgeous ruffles going all along the front. It's so pretty. And they really section things off using metallic blues mixed with the matte of the black. And there's all sorts of highlights of grays, darker shaded areas. It's very well painted. It's very alter. Having the black on top of the ruffles with the blue interior is so pretty. I love all the little lines and how everything swirls towards the center of her body. All these lines and these swirls actually go completely around her all the way to her backside, where she has these elegant coattails that actually come out the side of her. Almost makes me think of the fins you'd find on a fish. These coattails or fins have a beautiful blue underneath that has highlighting and shading to go with the same highlighting and shading we find at the top. Just so much color work has gone into this figure. She then has this cute little purse that pops out the front, and they kind of go into the ruffles that are right underneath her corset. The purse has a beaded attachment, and it even looks like it has this cute little attachment at the top that would be easy to clip on and clip off. And I really love the motif and the pattern used on top of this darker blue. The silver really sticks out, and it really feels somewhat of a focal point on her overall design. And it's cute. It still doesn't take away from everything else. It just matches up really well. Right next to this, we have a yo-yo. I actually don't know what this is whatsoever because I don't know who this character is. So because of that, I have no clue what these little spiral yo-yo things are, but I do think they look pretty cute. We then have more ruffles, and we go into her corset, which is, my goodness, very well done. So expertly sculpted, all these tiny little details, and despite them not actually using a different material or fabric in order to create the lacing, it's still so well painted that you could almost think that it is. It's even done with a bit of a gloss, so it really pops out from the overall corset itself. It's fantastic. You don't really get to see the back of her corset that much because of how extravagant her hair is. However, when it then goes into her back, which is a different type of material for her clothing, everything looks kind of bunched up and it's super weird. I don't particularly like it, however, you don't see it at all. Like, you need a flashlight, you really gotta get in there to look at it, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Her chest area is definitely a point of contention for me, but only because I'm not particularly a fan of this artist's style of artwork. I love this character design so much that I pulled the trigger to get her because of it. But as art is incredibly subjective, subjectively, I'm just not a fan of her chest. I find it kind of makes me think of Tank Girl from back in the day when she would do jokes and she would strap on like missiles or rockets on the front of her. But I know that this artist has a large cult following, and you know, it makes sense. Look how beautiful this is. I like how they used a gloss for the front chest bra piece, and then when we get onto the material on top, it's matte, and this is a beautiful sectioning off of textures that really makes a difference. One thing that kind of bothers me is that the center of her chest, as it goes underneath her diamond piece, there's a connection piece there where it seems like this is how they connected some of the plastics. almost like a cut or something like that going in, and this wasn't at all on any of the character promotional shots. It was really flat there, and it kind of bugs me that we have this line here. I understand that they did it where there's a bunch of lines on the design of the top part of her chest to begin with, so they could argue, oh yeah, it's part of that material, or maybe that's where she buttons it up, but they should have maybe added little buttons there or something so that it feels like that, because as it is, it just kind of feels like it's cut into the center here. I don't like it. It's off-putting. And considering they made her chest such a focal point, they really should have polished that up. This is Alter. Remember, you're paying a premium just for that company's name, and they do a good job. Sometimes incredible, sometimes a little less so. It's just that this figure is such a perfect balance of all of that. However, she was produced during the moment of the Big C, as that pandemic just raged forth and destroyed so many of our aspirations and figures and collectings and shipping. I know Alter had it hard with a lot of their figures with QC issues. QC stands for quality control. The diamond that's on her chest is beautiful. I don't know what that symbolizes or if it does anything special, but design-wise it looks gorgeous. It's a beautiful purpley pink. I just really love it. It feels so magical. Where it connects within the top part of her neck, shoulder pad pieces. These sleeves are gorgeous. We have all the line work once again, and it carves in much like the dress that she's wearing. So it's cute to see all these pleats separating and having the blue underneath. All these lines are very gorgeous. It gives me this real Tron vibe. But I guess that's because Tron always focuses on their darks and then glowing colors, and she's full of this. The blue they use all over this figure is so perfect. It's so nice, and it really pops. The arms are nice. I like the pink little metallic bicep bands that she has going on here. And then when they connect into the whole flaying out wrist part, it's just really expertly done like most of this figure. And we have this beautiful purple and blue reflective pieces along the top that feel very spirally, demonic, and Cthulhu-esque. We see them again on the inside of this massively open sleeve, and they're in white to go with the beautiful blues and highlights once again. She then has an inner tighter sleeve that connects to her thumb and almost up to her knuckles, and this is very textured, very rigid, little lines all across, extremely pretty. Her left hand appears to be making a fox hand gesture, but I'm not exactly sure what this signifies within the series, so if any of you know, please write so down in the comments. I'm actually very curious about this. I love Fate, I just don't have time to play the games, because I spend all my time working on my own manga comic book, Blithe. It's really a lot of work. But I love it and it's worth it. Back on track. The hands are elegantly done, and I love the use of nail polish, though the pinks are a little bit darker on her left hand than her right hand, where she doesn't seem to have any nail polish on her thumb. As we get over to the right hand, everything just seems kind of reflective and a lighter pink. I don't know if this is actually something that has to do with the character, or if they just forgot to put the darker pink when they were painting it. The fingers are long and extravagant and delicate, and her right hand is holding this beautiful umbrella that actually goes through her hair, and there's even a place where it leans in on her right shoulder that you get to put it on specifically, so you're not scratching your head trying to figure out how to install this thing in the right position. The bottom looks like an ivory? Let's just say magically polished bone, where we have more spirals going all across and a gorgeous gloss. It's so creepy looking and I just love it. It then gets into this brass fixture, and then we have the metallic piece that goes all the way up into the umbrella. Underneath the umbrella is so pretty. I love the blues and I absolutely adore the sculpture to this thing. It is so nice. We're seeing all the professionally splayed out pieces to this umbrella. It looks so legit, like you could actually close it up. It's so nice. The top of the umbrella is also gorgeous with highlights and shading. We have those beautiful lines coming back, along with these frills all along the top. Again, a perfect callback to the frills that she has along her dress and the bottom of her corset. It is so beautiful. Everything's all matched up. It must have been very difficult for her to find this umbrella at the local store, or she just made it herself along with everything else she has, because she looks very potent with the magical persuasion. It all flows up into this cute little brass spike at the end, which again, like this whole umbrella is so Vampires from Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just crazy. Her face, however, really makes me think of Mortitia from the Adams Family. It's gorgeous. It's so vampirically pale, and I love it. The lips have a nice little gloss to them, and it actually cuts in quite a bit. It almost seems like she's whistling. As we go up into her eyes, they don't put a lot of highlights in them, and we don't have pupils that are very pronounced. This makes her seem almost dead inside or zombified, and I think it matches very well with the rest of the emotions that we get from this figure. The decoupage of the hair on the front is gorgeous, kind of creepy, a little unique, definitely something you'd expect to see in Addams Family or something of that genre. And her hair's all tied back nicely into these cute bunny ear buns that are really well sculpted to show the different textures of how her hair is all probably enveloping something within. You get these cute little yo-yo fixtures holding everything together. Again, I don't know if they're yo-yos, I'm just kind of like guessing here. Her hair then elegantly flows down and it is so gorgeous. I love all the curls and the way that it unnaturally and surrealistically spins into all these different spirals, almost feels like a torrent of water. Or it gives off, I would say, a Lovecraftian look to it that is just phenomenal. Shikibu here currently only has one release, and as of that release in 2022, she was going for roughly 26,800 yen. This is okay. I would say that if you're paying that kind of price for her, I'd say she's worth it. However, there are a couple of little quality control issues, little nicks here and there, tiny little mess-ups in the paint that are very frustrating for a figure of this quality and from Alter, but you kind of get a little bit of that everywhere, so it's not something that is a deal breaker. They're not big enough to really cause me any major issues. But when I got this back in 2022, that was near the back end of the pandemic, and at that point shipping companies were holding all of us poor collectors hostage with their ridiculously made up overcharged brokerage fees, and because of this, I really paid a premium on this figure that makes it so I don't think she was worth it for me whatsoever. I think she's gorgeous, but I essentially almost paid double the price for her just because a shipping company was like, if you want her, you're gonna pay me this, or you're not getting it at all, which they literally told me. I can't believe that. I had to go to my customs office and it became a huge thing. We're not talking about this today, Eric. Is she worth that price? I'd say yes. I mean, if you can get her for a little less on the secondary market, that'd be even better. But again, you really need to love this artist's style because it's all over this, and for real, the chest can be a turnoff for a lot of people. It's not very realistically done, and it seems kind of off, but again, the artist that drew this character, it really looks like that artwork. So if you like that artist's style, then I'd say it's a solid win for you. The melancholic, blue, creepy, Cthulhu-style vibes with Nightmare Before Christmas sprinkled all over is something that I just eat up, and I would love more figures to have this kind of look and feel to them. Hopefully this video review helps you kind of get a good idea if this figure is for you. Will she fit in your collection? Will you start a new type of collection of all sorts of creepy crawlies and kind of put her in there? And if you like my video just a little bit, doesn't cost much to hit that like, smack that subscribe, and start pounding that, start ringing that notification bell. It doesn't cost much, and it goes a super long way to help support my channel and future reviews. Thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing rest of your day. Bye! Murasaki Shikibu Murasaki Shikibu Murasaki Shikibu Murasaki Shikibu Boo or boo? Boo? This is Murasaki Shikibu.